Bolt presents the evolution of graphics from Xbox to Xbox One. Xbox debuted in 2001 and finished as the second best-selling console of that generation. It showcased what power Microsoft could harness at the time and was the most powerful console out of the big three. The evolution of these graphics are not to show what was once ugly and what is now beautiful. It's to showcase works of art and how this industry is always growing, learning, thriving, and working hard to achieve something better than what once was. In 2004, Ninja Gaiden Black was released on the original Xbox. Using stealth and ninja skills, while throwing in a bunch of beat-em-up action, obviously, Black took a dark approach with heavy shadows, saturated bleak designs, and dirty browns to darken the atmosphere. Another heavy stealth game released in 2005, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, went with an ultra-realistic tone. Often working through night vision goggles in extremely dark areas would reveal exactly what trouble Sam Fisher was walking through. It would also give a new perspective and detail on how we'd see while sneaking around a place where we shouldn't be. For its time, Burnout Revenge was a fast-paced, beautiful racer. It had remarkably realistic reflections and lighting effects on the vehicles. Slow-motion crashes were a highlight that brought out the smooth curves of each vehicle, as they were getting demolished. Mass Effect was a galaxy-spanning game that emphasized its worlds on looking unique and completely different from one another. Each used its own palette of colors and specialized futuristic technological designs for its own identity. Aliens' character models were varied and had amazing facial effects as well. Arriving in 2011, Gears of War 3 ended the then trilogy for Marcus Phoenix and his entourage on Xbox 360. Gears is a very unique franchise as it delicately balanced dark tones with extremely bright tones. Being in a dark cave 1 minute showed crumbling rock effects, followed by a realistic toned cityscape the next minute that was destroyed by a great war. Finally, into a lake of glowing bright emulsion that flowed down like water. These transitions were a bit abrasive, yet a brave way to handle such a serious game. Not only did Forza Motorsport 4 outperform every racing game at the time, it showcased how far it had come from its original Xbox debut. Ultra-smooth lines with conservative lighting, improved sound, and nice reflections proved that Microsoft was serious with their premier racing franchise. Battlefield 3 was a massive-style first-person shooter that was competing with Call of Duty, but on a whole new level. Battlefield went for large-scale warfare that brought battles to huge, detailed maps. It used the colors of war, which reflects death and destruction perfectly, along with awesome character models and amazing rifle graphics. For its time, Rage on Xbox 360 was a marvelous gem of a game. Graphics that were top-notch extended past what was within eyesight. Skies were so blue with clouds that felt real, they were unbelievably believable. A lighting effect from a sun cast shadows and colors together in a desert world of post-apocalyptic proportions. The Witcher 2 made its console debut on Xbox 360 in 2012 to critical praise. It was a world swamped in fantasy and magic that showed through unlike most standard games out for the time. Halo 4 was the pinnacle of graphics power for any first-person shooter on Xbox 360 in 2012. Character models appeared authentically viable as living, breathing people. Aliens and atmospheres jumped out of the screen and haunted our eyes with its eerie beauty and epic scale. Metro Last Light was the follow-up to Metro 2033. Metro 2033 was a game many critics called a flawed masterpiece. Last Light was a sad world that nuclear destruction had overtook, with fantastic, wild atomic beasts that had ruled the lands in the deep, grey world. Humans roamed through filth-ridden metro stations, populated with refugees, travelers, and the poor below ground. The Witcher 3 debuted in May 2015 to critical praise in a world very familiar yet fresh all at the same time. The Witcher 3 brought us back to a fantastical world of dangerous-looking flying monsters. A world in jeopardy and taken over, yet absolutely stunning and shining with graphical advances. The Witcher 3 also introduced a much more evolved character model of the protagonist, Geralt. Released in September of 2015, Forza Motorsport 6 showed what 1080p at 60 FPS was really about. Not only did Forza carry over its graphical fidelity with smooth car frames and interior views, realistic backdrops, and great great sounds, but it also brought in 3D puddles. Now that might sound a bit funny, however with realistic puddles that form as it rains, traction for cars often changes the driving mechanics for the players. Crackdown 3 will be released in 2016, but that doesn't mean we can't dig out a few evolutions from back here in the past. Crackdown 3 is introducing cloud compute mechanics that will change video games forever. While playing online, the entire world map becomes destructible and maintains a steady frame rate without drops in speed. Quantum Break's new engine capability handles the game's slow motion, bullet time sequences, dynamic physics, and unique aesthetic. However, it's the real-time lighting which looked absolutely gorgeous, especially when viewing the time-lapse shots. Along with high-quality depth of field and heavy bloom and perhaps the best volumetric lighting effects we've seen in a while, all come together in a fascinating manner. Also being released in 2016, Gears of War 4 will finally let us return to the world of underground monsters we've been longing for. Gears has a darker mood than a teenage vampire love story. Howling creatures crawling out at night in a terrifying world of danger is what Gears of War 4 focuses on. With the power of cloud and continuous improvements made to the console's SDK, we can't wait to see how graphics evolve on the Xbox One in the future. And if you like what we're doing, go ahead and click that subscribe button. See you soon.